Okay, let's take a good walk around this 1987 BMW M535i, 5-speed dogleg manual, finished in lac silver with anthracite grey trim. Full spec M535, so it's got all the correct body kit on it. It's got headlamp wash wipe. It's been fitted with imperial wheels rather than the metric ones for ease of tyre replacement, shall we say. Electric sunroof, electric mirrors, so the full body kit, including the rear spoiler and everything. Rear headrests. That's about your lot. Not much more you can get on these really. Some of them have leather trim. Anyway, let's go around it in detail. I love this car actually. It's just a thoroughly sort of sorted, nice, honest, really nice example. Few blemishes on it as you'd expect from a 23-year-old, which we'll point out, but none of them detract from the really detract from the condition or the drivability. Just to say what you expect on a 23-year-old car that's done nearly 170,000 miles and feels like it's good for another 170,000. Anyway, let's go around it from the bonnet. On the bonnet rather. Lots of stone chipping around the front end of the bonnet here, lots of stone chips along here. I would imagine the bonnet's never been painted. So yeah, lots of stone chipping on the bonnet and up there and up there and up there. Around the front apron and front grille and everything all look pretty good. There's no issues there. We've got I'm picking holes here, very slight parking scuff just there on the near side front bumper corner, and a little bit on the spoiler, but that's very picky. It has had new front wings on it, so I'd imagine it's been resprayed up the sides. Certainly, if you look very closely, you can see the paint on the, whilst it's the same colour, the paint on the wings is newer, should we say. I know it has had new front wings on it, which is always the bugbear on these. One other thing, the lacquer has gone slightly dark just up here on the back of the bonnet from the original lacquer. But yeah, front wings lovely as you'd expect. The wheels, obviously they come off another BMW, little dull, probably could do with a re-lacquer and a little bit of curb damage replaced if you really can be bothered. Most people can't, in fairness. It's good all around the scuttle. Screen is good. What's that there? It's a bit of bird poo more than rust. We'll come around to that in a minute around the other side. Roof is fine. There is, what have we got here? There's a sort of, where the roof has gone back and forth over the years, there's a slight sort of rub mark here in the lacquer on the top, just along there. Obviously over the years that's where it's rubbed on the back of the roof. A couple of tiny pimples just coming up around here, but they're very tiny and easily caught. The roof itself is fine. There are a few sort of scratches and marks just on the back of the roof here. It may have had, I suppose, a roof rack on it at some point in the past. Seems like sacrilege putting a roof rack on, but I guess someone may have done. There's just a few sort of line marks on the top there in the paint. We didn't look down the near side for parking dinks and dents and stuff. Pretty good actually, pretty good down there. Possibly a very slight parking dink just there in the near side rear door. No, it's just nothing really there at all. The near side jacking point is missing, jacking point cover rather, is missing from the body kit just down there. That's the only thing that really detracts from that. Near side door is all nice. Interior wise, lovely actually, apart from the usual wear on the driver's seat that you get on these. The interior is in great shape. The dash top hasn't cracked, the door cards haven't shrunk, which they do normally. Carpets are all in good shape. It smells nice. It's just, yeah, so apart from the wear on the driver's seat, which you really can't get away from on these, it's spot on in there. Very good. Near side rear door, we've got a scratch in the lacquer from there to there, and another one from there to there, and another small one from there to there, which actually, though that one and that one may cut out, that one won't. But say a couple of minor scratches in the lacquer. In the back here it's lovely, it's all been nicely cleaned and valeted. That all looks super in there. Nothing really to criticise at all. It's got the rear seat belts. Near side rear wing, couple of very minor blemishes. There's a sort of tiny touched in bit just there, like a touched in scratch, about 1 inch long. And there's a dull patch in the lacquer once again here. It's not, the lacquer isn't cracked or anything, but the lacquer is very dull just there. And it's obviously had a car phone in it at some point, and some fool has touched it in rather amateurishly just around the hole there with the grommet. But tail tail is fine. As always with these, because the rear bumpers are plastic, they do sort of get a bit wavy over the years. This one's no exception. It's sort of slightly waved in there and there. I've seen that before on these. Boot lid, a few minor scratches in the paint and the lacquer up here on the back of the boot lid. As I say, I think really apart from the front wings, it's difficult to tell. Certainly the front wings have been painted, but I think the rest of it's original paint. But there isn't like a big colour mismatch, shall we say. I only realised I thought the front wings were just brilliant. It's when I looked in the service history that I realised they'd been replaced. Boot lid, fine here, although there is a sort of a strangely touched in area. Obviously, presumably it's rusted just slightly there on the lip of the boot lid. There's a couple of tiny sort of bubbles of rust just there. It looks like that's been touched in at some point. Well, obviously it has been touched in sort of a slightly lighter, slightly darker colour rather. So I'm not really with it this morning. Down the offside, very, very straight. There's possibly a minor sort of depression in the offside front wing, but we'll come to that as we get round it. Offside rear wing rather, is fine, and nothing to worry about there. Nothing to worry about anywhere on this thing really. Pillar's good. Roof is good, as I say. There's a few sort of minor swirl marks and stuff on the roof from the original paintwork and stuff. Offside rear door is all good. In the back there, once again, that's all spot on. Offside front door is lovely once again. It's fine. Yeah, looks like someone's lent on it actually. There's a slight sort of almost like parking dink depression just there in the offside front wing. It hasn't broken the paint or anything, and you can't really see it unless you look at it obliquely, but there is a sort of a very slight depression just there. As I say, the offside front wing is newish. I say they're about 4 years old, I think they were done. So that's spot on. Screen on the driver's side, lovely once again. What have we got there? Oh, it's been touched in. There's sort of touched in bit in the paintwork just there on the scuttle panel. But that's it. I'll show you inside because I say the driver's seat is worn on the bolster as they always are. You can't get away from that on these ones. Hasn't split the foam or anything, but the cover is well, as you can see, it's split, and they all do that. It's starting to go a bit just on this bolster down here, and it's getting a bit thin really in a couple of other areas on the seat, but has done 170,000 miles, and because these seats grip you, that's what they do. But the rest of the interior, say, is absolutely first class. Oh, it's just missing its blanking plug from the original. These were all when they came out of the factory. They had a blanking plug there for the ones that had manual windows, and it's lost its blanking plug from that side. That's about it. My name's Simon. You can reach me on 0771 906 9353, or in the office on 0118 946 3352, or you can go to our website, which is www.motodrome.co.uk. End.